Top of the morning, friends and fellow traders. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options, and this is the morning market preparation video for July 31st, 2018. So as we wind up this kind of wild trading month, we have a lot on our plate this morning. First, let's take a look at where the markets stand. If we look at the diamonds here, you can see yesterday, this is kind of an important support level, and we ended up giving up that support level yesterday with the pressure of selling that came. Really, it was really high pressure in the NASDAQ arena. But we are still holding on, clinging to this little trend that we have right here. So not all hope is lost, but there is reason for concern, and we're going to have to stay pretty focused on this price action. If we were to really start breaking down, we could expect this level right in here to be tested as support. So kind of keep that in mind. If we were to lose this trend, look for that level of support to come in right there. If we look at the SPY pulled back also, but it happened to stay right on top of this support. Managed to hang on here, just hanging on, clinging to life here by its fingernails, and really holding on to this trend. Now, it all depends on where or how you drew that trend, whether or not we're going to hold there. Now, futures this morning are pointing to just a slightly bullish open. But remember, we have lots and lots of data this morning, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But that data could certainly change what's going on in the market pretty darn quickly. Let's take a look at the Qs. Here's our problem child. The Qs gave up this support level and quickly fell to the next support level. Now we really need the Qs to hang on here and hold this level of support. If we were to drop on through there, let's just say it could get a little bit brutal here. We also want to recognize, depending on how you drew up your trend line, that we have dropped below the trend line. So we've got a little bit of technical damage here that's going to take some time for us to kind of clean up and clear up. We could see the bulls try to support off of this level, but remember, rarely the first pop move up is the one that really carries us higher once we've broken a trend. Normally we pop up and then we'll bounce around a little bit more, building a base to either go up or break down from. Now, IWM also drifted lower, breaking support and breaking its current little uptrend here. The trajectory of the uptrend changed here recently on IWM, and you can see we've broken that. But the bigger support still, or trend is still there. But my guess is a pullback into this support level at a minimum is likely. So a little bit lower possibly here on IWM. Now, we have to toss in some of the complications of lots and lots of data today. First, we have over 230 companies reporting earnings today, and if that's not enough, we have the beginning of the FOMC meeting starting on interest rate decisions, and that always tends to make the market pause or hesitate a little bit on what it's going to do, because we still have our Fed chair, Jerome Powell, is still kind of an unknown quantity for the market. Just a little bit of concern out there as to what he may do or what their decision will be this time around on interest rates. So we have that. We also have a really full economic calendar this morning with personal incomes and outlays. That's a big potential market mover. And then employment cost index, the CoreLogic number here, Case-Shiller, Chicago PMI, and consumer confidence all coming out this morning in potentially market moving reports. So not only do we have a lot of earnings to deal with, we have a significant number of reports, and then, of course, the FOMC meeting starting today with their announcement expected tomorrow afternoon. So we have a lot for the market to chew on today, and could see a little bit of volatility this morning with a lot of whipping around possible. Keep in mind that one thing that happens a lot, it may not happen today, that happens a lot, is after the morning rush on a Fed meeting, the market could become kind of quiet and choppy and stale. Just as it's just waiting, it's waiting for information. Also, remember that after the bell today, we have Apple reporting after the bell today. Now, this stock obviously has the high probability of moving the market. So if this were to report well and kind of break the trend of the FANG stocks that have kind of disappointed the market, break the trend and report well, we could see the market be bullish on that tomorrow. We could also see, if they were to fail a severe punishment in the Apple stock, and of course the market would not like that. So that really means that we could see Wednesday morning producing a gap, either up or down. The problem is we don't know which. And so we have to plan our risk very carefully as we go in to this earnings announcement, because we can expect it to gap one way or another the next morning. So depending on no matter what stock you're trading, could be affected by that big gap, depending on how they report. Now, it's almost hard to imagine that Apple would report a poor earnings result, but we kind of thought that of Facebook, and we thought that of Netflix as well. So don't read too much into this, and I don't think I would really be gambling on whether or not they report well. Also, keep in mind that they can report well and still disappoint the market. Expectations get built up really high, and you can have a really good report and still disappoint the market. So keep that in mind. There's no way to know what's going to happen around that earnings event and how the market will react to it. So plan your risk carefully as you move through the day. Let's take a look at the VIX real quick. The VIX is indicating a little bit of fear creeping into this market. We've lifted off of this little support level right in here. Lifted off of there, and we're starting to move up towards some resistance. But we're picking up a little bit of energy here in fear. So that means for option traders, particularly, your option prices are going to, get costlier on the extrinsic value there. And we could see a little bit more volatility come in the market for both stock and option traders as we kind of deal with this fear and this urgency that might kick up if we start seeing more sellers coming in. So watch that closely. On T21, T21-22, the 4-week new high, new low ratio, you can see we've moved down here toward this bullish reversal zone, but we still have plenty of room to go to the downside. So there's no indication here that we're nowhere near oversold. And of course, we have plenty of upside room here on this. So we could see this easily continue to drift down in here toward that bullish reversal zone. If necessary, there's obviously a lot of room to be able to do that. So let's hope those bulls actually step in. Let's hope they come in and they do a little defending of some of these key trends and key support levels to hold this market up. If they give it up, if they turn this over to the bears, we could see some quick selling. So be really careful. Make sure your stop losses are in place. Make sure you have a plan to exit the trade if it turns bad. And you may even want to think about, if that starts to occur, looking for that hedge in the market, or maybe even some put trades, short trades, to kind of round out your portfolio and kind of flatten your delta position overall in the market. With that, everyone, I want to wish you all a fantastic day. I want to wish you great profits. And if this is the first time you've seen these videos, please do me a favor. Click on that subscribe button on YouTube, the follow me button on Facebook, click those thumbs up buttons, and please, please, please feel free to drop a comment. I do try to respond to as many of those as I can. You guys are awesome, and thank you very much for all of the kind words that you've been sending me. I do appreciate it. Remember, I don't try to make any money from these videos, and I don't ever intend to. I'm not really doing this just out of the kindness of my heart either. This is a process that I go through every day to determine how I'm going to approach the market today. Now, today tells me, if looking at these charts, that there's reason for a little bit of caution. There's reason that we need to be very, very focused on price action. So feel free to share this video with any friends and family if you think that they could see some benefit out of this information. Remember, it's all intended not to give you a market direction or to give you a biased position, but to show you what's really going on in price action and stand aside from that bias just a little bit and say, this is what the chart is telling us. So everyone, have an awesome day. I wish you great profits. Take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you all very soon, bright and early, Wednesday morning. Have a good one.